Hey bitches, welcome back to Jabbr. My name is Jono Madison, and today we have my gorgeous friend who is an amazing fashion photographer, Miss Alena Saz. How you
Hello,
doing?
everyone. Hi, Janelle. So nice to be here with you today. And I'm really excited that this is a Halloween issue. This is one of my favorite holidays in the year.
Today is October 25th, and we're going to get into talking about you, your work, and talking about some witchy stuff.
Yes, let's do it.
So, first and foremost, how are you?
Doing good, a little bit busy as always. Busy is good, especially you start to appreciate it after all the lockdowns we're all experienced. So every time you're tired and busy, like you know it can stop. So busy is good, yeah.
Yeah. Any fun, exciting things you have coming up for Halloween?
Oh my God, I think we live in the best city to celebrate this holiday because there are so many amazing parties and events going on. It's really hard to compete with like Hollywood industry people because they have access to all the most amazing costumes and the special effects, makeups and stuff. And every time I have a little bit of anxiety because it's always like I don't have anything that amazing, but rentals are available and there are so many events. So yeah, like definitely some parties, balls, and getting crazy, getting excited. I think it's one of the most beautiful, and not just beautiful, it's spiritually a very amazing day of the year when you can let things go, have a fresh start.
Yeah, I agree. And candy.
Yes.
So let's give the audience a little bit of background how we met. We have together a mutual friend,
Yeah.
and that is our good friend Miss Nikki Dahl. You know the story better than I did, so I'll let you explain it.
So, like, I met Nikki. We moved to the US at the same time. I remember almost right after we met, Nikki went to LA and was very excited about the photo shoot with you. And since then, I've been hearing all these amazing stories about this awesome Los Angeles photographer. Oh, I forgot to mention that we were in San Francisco at this time. Nikki told me all these amazing stories about this incredible fashion photographer living in LA. And I was like, oh my God, like these colors and this like clean, beautiful fashion looks are mind blowing. So, like, you were introduced to me before we actually met. So, by the moment we really met, I felt like we already know each other for a couple of years because I've heard so much from Nikki. And then I think it was a party, like maybe a club or a bar. We met for the first time. And I had an opportunity to attend your photo shoots with Nikki too.
Yeah, um,
Remember?
we did
Yeah.
her season 12 looks.
Yes, yes, that's right.
It was so much fun, and we actually got the opportunity to work with each other. And
It
I
was a lot of
photographed
fun.
you in leather and a witchy feel. I'm gonna post them on our Instagram.
And
And
latex, my favorite latex looks too.
yeah, it was super fun and kind of witchy.
It was kind of witchy, but I think it was a great idea just to do this for each other because as a photographer, and I'm pretty sure you're like facing the same issue. First of all, you're very picky and particular about your own pictures. And when it comes to your own photographs, you're like, I don't know, like, no, not this person. And like, I appreciate this person as an artist, but I don't see this person taking pictures of me. So I think like for me personally, it was a really fun experience shooting with you, like being a model for you and being a photographer for you. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had so much fun. We both have a love for this one character named
Yes, I was about to say.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And I think we're at a club were dancing and I was showing you a costume that I had. I had the Elvira costume
Yeah.
and I was showing you how like I lost all this weight and to fit it, like, to fit the perfect mold and everything. And you said, I want to photograph you as that. And I was like, what? I was like, really? I was like, okay, let's do it. We made it
It
happen.
was really witchy too, and we did some kind of like Tita Monteith kind of looks with
Yeah.
you too. It was like I think it was really hot. I really love this like looks with a wig and the bangs. They're like super sexy, super hot.
I was into it. I, of course, love to get into the whole makeup and whole experience with it, and so I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really
Yeah, that was really fun, witchy and kind of like Halloween themed as well.
and we shot it in our shared studio.
Oh, right, exactly. Oh my
Yeah,
God. I feel like we know each other forever. We
yeah.
have
It was
so
that
many
that was
memories.
pre-pandemic, and Elena and
Right.
I had a studio that we shared.
Yes, right. Feels like ages ago.
It does. So we're gonna get into our first segment, which is our artist spotlight on Elena, and just asking her some questions and getting to know who Elena is. So
Let's
first and foremost, where are you from and where do you call home now?
I'm originally from Moscow, Russia, and I moved to the US 6.5 years ago. And my first city was San Francisco. That's where I met Nikki.
Mhm.
And but sadly, I tried to love the city as much as I could, but I never called it home, unfortunately. I mean, it was a great experience living there, but all my work, all my friends, all my clients, it was LA. And at some point, it was a little bit of New York, but mostly LA. And for the last few years, I'm based in LA. So I proudly named this city as my home city now.
Yeah, it is home for Elena.
Yes.
Do you have a mentor or anybody that you looked up to?
I was thinking about this question actually, not like a physical mentor, but I feel like people I can find my mentors spiritually, artistically. I wish they could be my like real physical mentors. It's Helmut Newton for sure, David LaChapelle, and it was like always very inspiring for me.
Mhm.
And this type of photography, classy fashion photography, artistic, focused on colors or emotions. With Helmut Newton, it's definitely an emotion and vibe and pure sex. With David LaChapelle, it's definitely color, sex, like very um, hot vibe. So I can call them mentors, but like I never had a physical, like a real person I could call a mentor.
When did you get into photography?
So it's an interesting question. I I got into fashion beauty industry as a model, and photography was always like a very mysterious art for me, and it felt like, oh, I could never figure it out. But at some point, I think I don't even know. Like I always had a camera. I always did some experiments with the camera and tried so many things. But I can say like professionally, when I started my career, it was I think it was like 13 years ago. I can say like when I quit my full-time job and focused on my art and photography. So I think like this is a breaking point when I can call it that I started my professional career. It was about 13 years ago.
Nice. Can you tell me a little bit about your style?
It's definitely influenced by the photographers I mentioned before.
Oh,
And I think Helmut Newton was my number one inspiration. And when I saw his art for my first times, I was like, oh my God, That's what I wanna do. I wanna quit everything I did in my life before and just do this.
Mhm.
And surprisingly, it wasn't that easy. I'm just like, "Oh, just natural lighting and just black and white. Okay, let's do it."
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't that easy, so it took me some time to figure out what's wrong and how to, achieve well, not like achieve this style of photography, but to realize what is important for me in the photography, what I really like to shoot, what I can be good at. So at some point, I started to shoot more people, and they started to book me for their photo shoots and offer me money, which was amazing.
Mhm.
At some point, like I started to take more like portraits and model tests and but fashion and beauty photography was always my focus and my inspiration. At first, I think it was more fashion, and I never wanted to be a beauty photographer because I didn't want to limit myself just with beauty. And I thought, like, oh my God, this is boring. But at some point, like, I think now it's more beauty, less fashion. Beauty and fashion photography, I should just mention that it's editorial photography, it's some creative work, and it's commercial photography, which is like my full-time job.
Do you think your personal style gets influenced into your work?
Oh, well, yeah, you know what? Yes and no. I feel my photography style, it's very clean and cheerful, colorful, a lot of like clean, natural, bright colors.
Mhm.
And my personal style, it's all black. It's always like heavy makeup, all black. Um, it's black and white for sure. So maybe I'm just like balance this side of my nature, uh, lacking of colors. I just balance it with my photography.
Love that. What's your process like?
If we talk about some art and creative work, like commercial process is a little bit pretty much the same for everyone, I think. For creative work, I would say I find inspiration in like so many things around me, and sometimes I challenge myself to find something what can inspire me for my own work. So it's usually sometimes it could be some art I saw, or maybe some colors or colors combination I saw. And I would be like, oh, wow, like I love these colors in nature. They look amazing. Once I saw a peacock tail and I was like, oh my God, like these are such a great colors for to play with product photography. So I just like came back home and I found some eyeshadows and cosmetics to play with, and I just created an artwork based on this inspiration. Sometimes it's definitely other photographers' work as well. You see this and you're like, wow, this is like really interesting. I don't know, like these colors are really attractive. I want to try to do something like this, but it's not like you copy someone's work. It's mostly you get an inspiration, you get a direction. So it all starts from the idea, and then I start to pull references together and think about technical part.
Mhm.
So there are some things that I could be interested to do, but it's just like technically complicated or just like extremely expensive.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just can't invest this money into your creative work.
Mhm.
And then it's like working on your mood board and thinking about the theme you want to pull for this project. And sometimes it's opposite. Sometimes you have a team and you create an idea for a particular model, for a particular type of a person or a celebrity, and the team. So it's like one way or another way, but it starts with an idea and the mood board, and then working with the team, planning in terms of location, looks, styling, submitting to magazines, and then it's like the shoot itself, selection, post production, and then it could be just a creative work we post on social media and our websites, or we submit it to magazines, so it could be a publication too.
Yeah, submitting is important because we're in charge of our own press.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, you should do what I do. If I really want something I know I can't afford, I just put it on a credit card and then just return it.
Well, you can do it with a mansion, for example. If you need to
Um,
rent a mansion,
oh,
or
yeah.
yeah, you need to pay for an
Yeah.
incredible Airbnb and it's gonna be like a couple of thousands. But as we know, other creatives don't really want to share the expenses with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're just like stuck with a huge bill for your creative photo shoot. So it's like I do it from time to time, but at the same time, like honestly, recently I'm stuck in the studio, and I used to shoot outdoors a lot, like thinking about locations, like scouting locations and stuff. But lately, it's mostly the studio.
Same. Has social media gained bleh. Has social has social media helped you gain exposure?
Honestly, I think like at this point, for the last maybe 5 years, nobody really cares about websites unless it's a big client. But even big clients, they all like search for artists through social media, and it became the main thing, like the main marketing tool and the main like exposure tool, and gaining attention to your work, connecting with people. Like most of the artists I know and I work with, it's all through social media. And it's really hard to underestimate the importance. But at the same time, it's amazing and it's frustrating at the same time because everyone knows with like Instagram algorithm, one day you're gaining a lot of likes and comments and attention, and next day you post and nobody sees it, and you take it personally, like what if my work is horrible, like. But
Yeah.
it's not about you, just about algorithm. But also, I don't know, like for me personally, TikTok or reels are just not really my thing.
Mhm.
And it's a little bit of a struggle because everyone does it, and it's kind of like an important marketing tool as well. A lot of brands and clients are there, and so I'm kind of like telling myself every day, like, okay, we need to do this. Just like come with an idea and let's do something. But I just don't feel it, and this kind of like controversial feeling that you have to do that, and you just don't feel to do like doing it. So social media is definitely important, but some channels like TikTok, for example, I don't know, I'm just like, it's not my thing. I
Yeah.
love beautiful pictures, but people are getting bored by beautiful pictures.
Yeah. It's kind of like trying to keep up with your audience and then just giving them something else to continuously look at. And it's like
Yeah,
and it
exactly.
it kinda, for me, it kinda, like, makes it seem like it becomes content than your art. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I feel completely the same. And some people are just so great at content creation. And I don't even want to compete with them because it's not something I am inspired with. Um, I love beautiful pictures. I love to post BTS, but not in the shape of a reel. I think we can do it better. I love it when it's like very polished, filmed professionally, edited professionally, and I just don't feel like the world needs someone like another content creator who would say like, "Hey guys, how you doing? I just wanted to show you one thing today," and then for 10 minutes you're just talking about nothing.
Yeah, it's I think it's also like a generational thing. Like this is like what the new generation this is how they communicate, I guess, in a way. You
Uh,
know?
yeah, but also I feel like people are really getting bored by the still content. And the picture needs to move, and the attention span of people is like really short right now. So that's why like reels are mostly effective when it's like 10 seconds. Even 30 seconds, nobody watches it.
Mhm.
So for the BTS video, for example, like you can't really show much within 10 seconds. And for photography process or retouching process, you can just like show one action mostly, like before, after, but it's not much you can show.
Where were you before COVID?
So I was sharing my time between San Francisco and LA, like 50-50.
Mhm.
And we shared the studio in downtown, which
Yes.
was amazing. I did a lot of creative projects.
I love that there was a shower there and a full kitchen.
Oh god, yes, kitchen was amazing, so good. Yes, and the shower, I never used it, but I mean,
I
it's
I
good.
threw some of my boys in there and I was like, "You need to take a shower."
Oh, well, no, it was a great studio for sure. The location was great. Yeah, like I did a lot of creative projects, a lot of editorial work, met a lot of artists in LA, and I actually had this thing. Yeah, before COVID, I had this idea like that every week I need to meet at least three new people, which was amazing
Mhm.
because it's really easy and it's really hard to make new connections in a way.
Yeah.
Everyone knows like people are flaky and
Yeah.
you can't really take serious all the ideas and proposals you get at the bar meeting someone.
Yeah.
It was like a really nice thing to do just to connect with a lot of people. And actually, I made like a lot of friends at this period of time, and we're still working together, which was great.
What's day in the life of Elena Saz?
I try not to work every day. I think, like, as a self employed person, as a creative, we can definitely afford it.
Mhm.
And we can skip some days when we don't feel like being inspired or working, or we can plan like our marketing days or just inspo days when you just need to shut down Photoshop and go for a walk with your camera.
It's hard to put it down.
I know, like actually this week I did it. I went for a walk with my camera and I didn't do it for a very long time. And you know what? It was amazing.
Yeah, it's super fun to do, like, stepping out of your norm as, like, a photographer and just going to take your camera and just doing like my friend calls it a photo safari,
Yeah.
where you just go and just see what you can capture, just, like in a way it kinda works for me because I do a lot of Photoshop and I'm doing, like, a lot of manipulation, and so getting, like, textures and all those little, like, pieces that I would put in my artwork, part of it, it helps with that process.
Oh, absolutely. But also, like for me, as a beauty photographer, fashion photographer who's stuck in the studio,
Mhm.
it was kind of like I did this before, like pretty often, but not really, not anymore. So it was like an interesting challenge to go outside with your camera and like trying to capture some objects, look at regular things with a different perception and take some kind of like interesting angles and think about like natural light, about shadows, about reflections, which was great.
Uh-huh.
And I think, like, artistically, it really helps you to clear the palette because sometimes, like, when you do just the same thing every day, you're losing the main idea of the art you're doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, some, like, fellow artists are like, "Okay, let's shoot a new tutorial," and you're like, I don't know, it feels like I shot everyone I wanted already, like, I don't even know what do I really wanna do.
Yeah.
This really helps. So talking about my, like, regular day, it depends if I have a photo shoot this day or not, but, a lot of time I actually spend for pre-production, and even small clients, they take a lot of time for with planning, working on mood boards, call sheets, and all these things, emails. If it's a shooting day, so it's usually just like working in a studio or on location, depending on the project, depending on the client, depending on the work I have to do. And a lot of time, like a lot of the time, it's a lot of post production, as you said, Photoshop, Photoshop, Photoshop. But I try to forward my retouching and post production to professional retouchers as much as I can because it's just impossible to process all the work by myself. So I have some amazing retouchers whom I trust, and I can forward and outsource some work to them.
Nice. Do you have a dream client?
Yes, of course.
Who's your dream client and why?
So if it's like a commercial client, I would definitely want it to shoot for this cosmetics brands like Dior or Chanel, Lancome. I think like these are monsters of beauty industry. And at the same time, they're not this conservative brands anymore. They got like really creative and they really enjoy their new campaigns because this is what I love in photography. It's edgy, it's stylish, it's modern,
Mhm.
and it's a good pay too.
Yeah, definitely. Considering today is October 25th, what's one goal that you have toward the end of the year?
So I would definitely love to shoot a couple of editorials I have in mind. Like it's still on the level of idea. And I just need to make it work and find the right team for this and bring the idea to life
Mhm.
and made it to a good magazine. So something to be proud of. And I would say like a couple of nice commercial shoots, like a couple of campaigns would be great too.
What's one thing you can't live without as an artist?
I think it's mostly like personal space when you just have this me time. And it may look stupid to people who are like people around you. It may look like you're just doing nothing, scrolling through internet, jumping between windows, but it's part of the process. And like as a visual person,
Yeah.
I can get like a lot of inspiring ideas, like going through some art or movies or music or paintings or someone's work. So, like this me time, personal space is definitely really important. And also, I think nature is a great way to recharge and get some emotional and spiritual rest
Mhm.
because communicating with different people and being in this position when you're always like need to be successful, you need to do something. When you're not doing something, you feel like you're missing something. And then you really need this recharging time, like going to nature and just be still and calm and just feel that you're a human being and not a human doing.
I love that. What's something that you're currently working on right now?
A couple of tutorials I'm really excited about, so I just can't wait to post them and to share them. I think like these are one of my favorites during this year so far, so I'm super excited to post them.
Can't wait to see that.
Oh, me too.
So, what does Elena do on her spare time?
Well, I definitely do some like basic stuff, like going to gym, walks, like walking with my dog, meeting friends, going to restaurants and parties for sure.
We gotta go get drinks.
Yes, we should.
Speaking of, we're gonna take a little nap right now,
Okay,
but we'll be right back.
sounds good.
Hey bitches, if you feel like spreading your patronage, visit the Jono shop. Limited edition prints, zines, t-shirts, postcards, and more. Use discount code JABBR for 15% off your order at jonophoto.com. Welcome back, bitches. So we're in our second segment now, and we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart and near and dear to Elena's heart, and it's witchy stuff.
Yes, so excited about this part.
Yes. So, if you mind me asking, what is witchy stuff?
So maybe I should start with telling why it like all happened. At some point, I had just one Instagram account, and
Mhm,
I posted like my work and my personal stuff,
mhm.
and it just got weird because as I said, like my work is very like colorful, clean, pop, a lot of like pop colors. And my personal stuff is very like dark, like black and white, mysterious, so magical experience. So I looked at my Instagram and I was like, it looks weird. And also, some people just like didn't really get it. They took this like kind of personally. And when I posted my like witchy sexy stuff, they thought that it's some kind of like an invitation. And I was like, okay, like it's weird.
Oh no.
Oh God, yes. So
Do you get a lot of weird people in your DMs?
yes, like especially weird when someone you work with just like texting you, "Hey girl, looking hot. What are you doing tonight?"
It's funny. When I posted those Dita Von Teese style photos that you took of me,
Yeah.
when I posted that, and so I guess not everybody read in the caption, that was me. Some
Oh
people, some
my God.
people actually really sent me a message asking if I can do a private appearance at their home as that person, and I was like, oh no, not enough money.
Well, yeah, like that's why I kind of like no, I have to just separate these things because I got a lot of like offers to make a personal appearance at
Yeah,
someone's place, no money, just as I am, like, and I'm like, wait, it's a business Instagram. Like, what are you talking about, really?
yeah.
So and at this point I just like created a different Instagram just for my personal stuff, like
Mm,
work. I could safely post some latex fetish looks, magic stuff, like witch stuff, some rituals and other things. And that's how witchy stuff started to exist.
mhm,
But at some point, I think like it was a positive change, but at the same time, it was a negative change as well because my business Instagram became a little bit more boring. It was just like clean and colorful work.
mhm.
And now I'm actually thinking about going backward a little bit and adding witches stuff content to my
That would be fun.
business Instagram because basically everything I share on my Alena Saz Instagram is just my work, just my picture, the pictures I take.
Mhm.
And it's like, like a lot of people do that. I mean, just a photography account. So I think like which stuff needs to come to Alena Saz now.
I agree. I'm here for that. So you mentioned witchy stuff, extra like magic stuff. What kind of witchy things do you do?
So okay. Um I really believe that magic exists. At least my magic works, so I believe that it exists. I do tarot readings, some spiritual work with runes and nature elements, and yeah, black magic.
We did mention because I actually do oracle readings, and I
Okay.
feel very more connected to oracle cards than I do like tarot cards. And I always said I wanted to give you a reading, and you said
Yeah, we need to do reading for each
we need to
other.
have like a witchy night and just have
I'm down. Yes,
just have wine and read cards all night.
I'm down. Yes, sounds really exciting.
I'm into it. You mentioned practices. Do you do any rituals or anything like that?
Do. I think I was like a little bit more active before, but now I'm mostly like following some big dates like Halloween, for
Mhm.
example. It's a great period of time to work on, like, to do your magic stuff.
The thinnest barrier between the spiritual world and our world.
Yes, exactly. But not just like Halloween, but since we're like really close to Halloween, so it's always a great opportunity to do some rituals. And I work with elements a lot. And but on a day-to-day basis, there's still like a lot of kind of like small rituals I would do, like for example, well, like to charge moon water
Mhm.
or to do some runes or just for like basic things.
Uh-huh.
Let's say if I have an amazing client and a very exciting commercial project coming, right? And I would be like a little bit nervous. How would it go? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to just fail.
Yeah, it
I think we're all have this back thoughts when there's something important and really like valuable for you happening. You have this kind of back thoughts. Oh my God, like I don't want to fail. Please, universe, come help me.
it gives us, like, a sense of assurance and comfort, I guess, in a way.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. So that's why I would do like a couple of rituals just to support myself.
Mhm.
Like I'm confident in my expertise as an artist, as a photographer, but having some supports from Nordic gods, oh my God, it's like priceless. Come
Yeah.
on.
I've been in, Elena's personal space, and I can say that you definitely have you can feel that there is a lot of protection around you, and there is a lot of, what's another word?
Ghost?
Not ghosts, but more like you could I don't know if like some people know what that feeling is. It's just like you can tell when there's something there, but it's not threatening. It's just
Yeah, it's a presence. Like,
yeah.
there is a presence.
But it's nothing bad. It's just it feels your protectors, your people that are like the people that keep you going. I guess.
Yeah, I feel the same all the time, like 100% of time. I feel like the universe has my back. So I have like a higher protection, higher help, and I can always ask for help, for support, or just be grateful for all these magical things I get in my life.
Elena, we're coming to the very end of the show. You said you had something special for our listeners.
Yes, since we're all excited about Halloween and we just talked about some rituals,
Mhm.
I would like to share a small ritual everyone can do.
Okay.
And it it's the only like the power of your intention. That's all you need, like, and all the magic forces, like all the universe support will be there because it's one of the most powerful days of the year. Just make it believe that it's going to happen. Just take a candle, light a candle, and take a piece of paper and a pen and write down everything you want to get rid of. Like, but be really wise about this. You can get rid of all the obstacles on the way to you to working with your dream client or your success or your health. Like, all bad energies, bad vibes, all like toxic relationships, toxic connections, maybe laziness. Sometimes we're just like freaking lazy to do what we need to do. Think of everything you want to get rid of and visualize this and burn this paper with a very strong intention. Just one tip, think about the fire alarm before you'll do it. 'Cause it can ruin any ritual, trust me. Like when you forget about your fire alarm and you burn stuff, oh God, no. Think about the fire alarm first. And then I really hope it's going to work.
And I'd love to hear you guys feedback. If you guys did do it, send us some messages and we'd love to read them and see like what you guys think about that. Alena, is there anything you want to share, plug, or promote on your website?
Since I'm really excited about upcoming tutorials, so it would be great to share it with a wide audience. So just you can follow my Instagram or check my website. I think Instagram is like I update it more often than website right now. So
At Alena_Saz.
yeah, like just like follow my Instagram and you'll see all this exciting work I mentioned before. I think these are one of the best work I did through this year. So I'm super excited to share it with people who love fashion and beauty photography.
Love it. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Bye.
Bye.
This is Jabbr Podcast, executive produced by Jono Madison. If you have a question, comment, topic, or story you want to share, we want to hear it. Email jabbrpod@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram or Twitter @JabbrPod. This podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Stories and mentions are not meant to hurt anyone or their subtitle parties. Intro and outro, LA Step by We.